The presentation today is has two topics. The first is the design and of use cases and personas used in the CRISP4BigData process. And the second topic is the conceptual modeling and as well the implementation of a user interface also based on requirements from several processes and some technological requirements, also based on the CRISP4BigData process model. First of all, I think you all know it. We have today the problems to handle and manage big data, for example, mass data, different data types, data sources, and technology, and something like that. And this, or I said it in another way, the management of the big data creates challenges for companies and as well research organizations. So, but the most organizations we have today are need to handle or analyze their data. And there are some process and project models like the CRISP for data mining, SEMA, KDD, developed in the 90s and earlier. And yeah, for example, the CRISP4BigData for data mining process isn't that complete regarding the archiving topic, or maybe the usage of knowledge or the meta information produced during an analysis or project process. So we have the same problem, for example, in two European research projects, for example, the SENSCA project, which has the goal to analyze emotions of dementia or of persons who have dementia. And we had the problem to deal with the meta information which were processed during an analysis process, also with the management of the artifacts, like the videos of the patients, the raw data publications, the archiving of them, and things like that. We had the second a research project where was the goal to analyze large metagenomic data sets of cows to reduce methane emissions and to increase the productivity of animals as well. And there was also the problem of how could we manage the meta information of analysis process and the artifacts. In this case, this was we had very big result sets or test data in a CSV file or publications and something like that. So we thought about how could an project and analysis process look like, which is able to handle and collect meta information, to manage the artifacts, to manage the generate knowledge, and archive at the end all the results, all the artifacts, and all the stuff you use during an analysis process or project. And we designed a process called CRISP4BigData, means cross-industry standard process for big data, and it's based on Born-Schlegel's IBIS4BigData, Kaufmann's BDM Cube, and the known cross-industry standard process for data mining. This is a better picture. You have 5 phases: the data collection, management, curation. This is all about what is the goal of the analysis or the project, to understand the data, and you could also have some kind of a data preparation. The analysis means the modeling of the process and how the analysis should be done. The evaluation of the results, as well as in the next step, the interaction and perception means to manage the results, maybe some software deployments or visualizations. And in the insight and effectuation step, you have you deal or you manage the how should I say, the optimization maybe of product, of processes, or to reach your research goal. In the last phase, in the knowledge-based support, you will have some kind of knowledge generation and management. Means the process generates and manages the knowledge you generate during the process, and you also have some kind of a retention and archiving mechanism which handles the archiving of the artifacts and the meta information, as well as the whole process for 10, 20, or 30 years maybe. So we also thought about what are the uses of such a process or a system. So we have two personas, maybe some kind of a data or business analyst or a project lead or something like that, which collaborates with the data scientist to translate the requirements of a business or of a research group into a technological requirements, for example. And we have the data scientists, and this is, I think, this is a user stereotype with a lot of different definitions, but I think this is the person who has the domain knowledge, the analytical skills, and maybe a knowledge about the software and the systems engineering. So based on the CRISP4BigData process, we designed some use cases used later on for the development of a system. And now we are in the steps of each phase, means we are now in the business understanding phase, which deals with the initial collection of information about what is your goal, what is your business, did you understand the goals, the requirements, and the business as well, and collect here all the information regarding the project or the process you're doing later on. So the second phase or sub-phase is the data understanding. There are all information about your information about your data, files, databases, whatever you have to do an analysis on is collected here. Means the meta information of an artifact like a database, a file, Excel file, or whatever you have. So in the next phase, this is the data preparation phase, means you're doing some kind of, you select data, you enrich data with other information, you clean the data, you construct new data, or you give your data a specialized format or things like that. The modeling phase is very interesting and very important because you model over the BPMN notation how the process should look like. Means when do you start, which are the start data sets and something like that, and when is the process stopped after the archiving functionality. So I will have later on some screenshots of this. The analysis is more, a model assessment, means is the model of the process and of the project good enough to solve or achieve the goals and to initiate the process. Means to start the process, collect all the information, collect all the files, collect all the information about your data bases, and put it into packages. For example, packages like are used in the ORES reference model to archive your packages and all your data and all your files for several years. The evaluation is also very important because you think about, is the outcome of the analysis or the process or the project fitting your goals and your requirements, and do you really achieve with this process or this analysis your goals of your research or process or business requirements. In the next phase, the deployment, collaboration, and visualization phase, you plan a deployment of the outcome of the project. Means, do you only have a visualization? Do you have a software at the end of the process? Who uses what? And who will implement the things? And some kind of things like that. And you could also have a review of your project. Means there is a functionality which produce automatically a report of your research. Oh, sorry, here. And the next step is also very important, because now you think about who is using your results. What was the outcome, and how is the outcome used to optimize your product, your processes, your research, whatever you want to achieve. The knowledge generation and management phase cares about the generated knowledge and also the experts of this project, and will store the knowledge also to have it later on in archiving packages used, for example, in the ORES reference model. And I think the last use case is the retention and archiving task. There you could have some management regarding the archiving. Means the whole data is collected. You could select the data. You could classify the data. The temperature of the data, means is it a hot, warm, or cold data, or something like that. And this is done by the backend to package all the information, all the visualizations, all the things you use or produce during the process are packed into an, for example, ORES reference model package like zip, AIP, or DIP, or something like that, to use it in several years. So the next thing is the design based on the design and implementation based on the use cases. Here are the use cases again. And now we thought about how could an architecture of a solution look like. And we already used the KMEP. This is the Knowledge Management and Ecosystem Portal at the distance university. And there it could be very good to implement the solution I mentioned, to use to have some added value in using both systems. So we have some kind of a persistence layer, means the application database and a connection to other database over a media and wrapper architecture. We have some service layers, the web server and the client. So means in a detailed architecture, we're using as database abstraction doctrine to have database models and get access to those models. We have the Apache Kafka with a media wrapper architecture managed in a SQL database to manage the connection to other systems, for example, Hadoop ecosystems or something like that. We use Twig for the layout, logic, and template management. We have some big data services as well. And as a controller, we use the PHP front end or controller of the KMEP. And I think this are, yeah, and we use the Symfony PHP framework, or the KMEP is using the Symfony framework. Okay, I think that's all. So now I have some screenshots. We already implemented a few things like the data collection, management, and curation part. There's missing, for example, the data preparation task. We implemented the data understanding, means you could have a look on reusable data. You can describe your data. You can collect additional data, databases, files, or whatever. This is that I already mentioned. The modeling of an analysis process means you have a start. You have a loading of data, collecting test data based on stored in databases, publications. You have manuals. You have test data, maybe flat files or something like that. And you can describe. This is only a very basic modeling to show you how the processes look like, and but you can model it how you need it at the end. So what is missing at the moment is the analysis functionality, means the automatization, the loading of data, the usage of data in your analysis. So far, we have implemented the evaluation of the results. Yeah, okay, for one information, the analysis works. We tested it in a how should I say, manual way at the moment, and what the next step is to implement the automatization into the portal. So we also have the insight and effectuation, means the generation of report, the different reports and something like that. And we have the archiving mechanism, which works at the moment, means you could archive your data, you get could set a type of data, and you could pack all the information, all the data based on the CRISP4BigData process, and pack it into an OIES reference archiving package. So, and the last point, yeah, is it's also used for the archiving, means these are information used for the archiving process, means where are your data at the moment, which experts work for the project, and then the last one is the generating of the OIES files for the long-term archive, and this is all we have at the moment. So what is the future work? We have to complete the prototypical implementation. We also have to migrate the KMEP asset manager. This is the point you upload your files, your databases, your videos, all the things you have to analyze it and collect all the information. We do it at the moment in a very manual way, adding files and videos or something like that to the system, and therefore we're using later on the asset manager of the KMEP. And the software, or the complete software, needs to be evaluated. Also the process. So yeah, thank you very much.